Or can
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. Call the meeting to order of the Gaston County Fire Commission for January 8th, 2026. Rise, please. Bob Hovis will lead our invocation, after which the Pledge of Allegiance will be brought by Rich Albaugh.
Please bow with me. Gracious Father, we come before you tonight to conduct the work for the county fire system and to understand our needs and protect our citizens, to continue to understand, to judiciously handle the funding and the resources that we have, provide the best service for the citizens of this county. We ask for your grace, we ask for your wisdom, we ask for your knowledge. We ask all this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sirs. Members of the commission, you have the agenda in front of you. Are there any additions or corrections that need to be made to the agenda?
Motion to approve is presented, sir.
Motion to approve is presented. Is there a second? I have a second for Mr. Albaugh. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Motion is adoption of the agenda is made. At this time, I'd like to, we have got a good crowd here tonight, and we are streaming now on YouTube. So at this time, I'd like to do some introductions of the commission members, starting on my far right.
Austin Watts, Gaston Township.
Will Keller at large.
Go ahead, Bob, sorry.
No, that's fine. Bob Hovis, County Commission Representative.
Joshua Brown, firefighter, of the President of the Firefighters Association.
Rich Albaugh, Cherryville Township.
Okay.
Rob Smith at large.
Okay. Any of our commission members online?
Justin Westbrook at large.
Thank you. And Brian Wyneth, Riverbend Township Chairman. Members of the commission, you were provided copies of the minutes from our previous meetings. Are there any additions or corrections that need to be made to those minutes?
Mr. Chair, for the record, we do have a quorum, correct?
I'm sorry, yes, we do have a quorum. Thank you.
From the recording. Thank you.
Any additions or corrections that need to be made to the minutes?
Motion to approve is presented.
Have a motion to approve is presented. Have a second from Commissioner Smith. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to approve the minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Minutes are approved.
Mr. Chairman, can
Yes.
I would like to introduce my colleague Brian Skiba. He's the Assistant County Manager. You want to say a few words at all?
No.
All right. He's here to make sure I don't mess up. So.
All right. Thanks for coming, Brian. Appreciate it. All right. We get some updates from the Office of Emergency Management and Fire Services. I see Director Mitchum is out. So Vincent, that'll fall on you.
Yeah, so over the past several weeks and months, we've met and tried to meet with all the fire departments to talk to them about the financial management stuff, about the budget process and how that's going to work. So far, it's been with myself and finance staff and Rebecca. They've gone pretty well. We've worked with a lot of departments that use QuickBooks, and they have agreed to give her basically view access only so she can import it herself and there's not additional work on the fire departments. I think so far, you know, we might have a few corrections and some clarification, but we're going to test this out for a little while, make sure everything is fitting where it needs to be. And so during budget time, we're comparing apples to apples. We did Rebecca sent out the budget worksheets the other day. We're asking the departments to look at them, see if they have any questions, but we think it's a reflection of what we're asking as far as the chart of accounts. We've also talked about bulk purchasing and other ideas, the capital plan, and also just getting an inventory of what the departments have and making sure we're forecasting everything correctly so we can give better information to the fire commission as they deliberate through the budget. Rebecca, is there anything you want to add?
No, I think you got it all.
Yeah, so very good discussions. We will bring back, as part of the contract discussions, we talked about some financial policies and that we would work together. So as we develop those, we'll be sending that out to the fire chiefs and then working with Josh at the Firefighters Association and his group and this group, just to make sure that we're all on the same page and we're all in agreement with what's asking. I know there was some heartburn a little bit when we first sent it out, but that was just for the departments to see it and feel it and be able to have the information to play around with it and see if they have any questions. But so far, so good. We have 2 more tomorrow, and then we should be wrapped up by, I think, at least the end of January, where we've met with every department and with their chief and if their board, if they so choose. So other than that, business as usual. We start the calendar year, so there's a lot of stuff that goes with this, and we're starting the budget year. So looking forward to moving forward.
Good. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
question. This chart of accounts is the same coding as we used last year?
It's different.
I saw some differences. That's the reason I asked.
Yeah, there's differences, and we've been asking the departments for clarification on where do they put things and how we can code it better so there's no confusion. So it breaks down, like, instead of just having operations, there's line items. It reflects a lot of what the county budget would look like.
I just thought I noticed some differences in these
Yeah,
account numbers.
yeah,
And it would be good if we could create a cross-reference from last, as we're comparing prior year's budget to this year's budget requests, to be able to cross-reference to determine how they tie back in.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
great. Thank you.
so I don't know if you want me to continue with the budget updates a little bit.
Well, I was gonna ask Rebecca what she had, if she's got, Rebecca, do you have anything in addition to what Vincent's talked about on the budget? I know that you still have some departments that you need to visit with.
Yeah, the email went out, so if there are any questions, any clarification needed, if you find any mistakes or anything, let me know. And just want to make sure everybody got the file. If you didn't, let me know. I'm any questions tonight or set up a meeting to come to your department also.
Okay, Rebecca, how difficult would it be for Commissioner Hovis's question to have some cross-reference going back between fiscal year 24, 25 and our new budget cycle year?
Not an issue at all. It was mostly adding a few lines in. Yeah, and then I moved one line, but other than that, not an issue.
Okay,
So
so,
it's important for us to see what to change.
Okay.
so you're telling me that that's possible and we can have that? Okay, great. Thank you very much. Any questions for budget on the budget analysis from any other members of the commission before we move on? All right.
You were physically here.
I'm at the finance office, but I'm willing to go to any of them.
That's okay. I can find you. Thank you.
And Rebecca, which departments do you still need to visit with?
We have Alexis, Crow, Hughes Pond, Low, North Gaston, Trianata, and Waco.
Okay, all right. Any representatives from any of those departments that she named, you'll raise your hand. Those will be on the left-hand side of the road, or left-hand side of the road, left-hand side of the room. Make contact with Rebecca before you leave tonight and possibly be able to get those set up sooner than later.
I think they're all scheduled.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the only one I think is we're supposed to have Waco on Tuesday, and the chief was a bit tied up.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we're looking to reschedule that one, but I think other than that, the rest are on the books.
Okay, great, fantastic. All right, we have task force, reports. Anyone here from the rescue committee?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So talked with, Eric Withers, to kind of finalize and see where things were with the rescue, committee of how things were going. Originally, Scott Zander was, I think, the lead of that group, and he has since resigned. We're talking with Eric. Some of the things that were done, when they had initiated this was trying to identify resources of equipment, certification levels of personnel. I think also like light, medium, heavy duty rescue centers, just to see where the dispersion was in the county. The other thing that was paired up with that was just trying to communicate to these departments to understand that for any of our specialty operations that occur, trench collapse, machinery education, high angle, low angle, things like that, that if they need additional resources to supplement for those rescues to occur, that the city of Gastonia is our mutual aid agreement within the county for our specialty operations, our hazmat incidents, things like that. That's not saying that if you have the capability to manage a low angle rescue and you have the personnel and you're certified and you're able to do that, that you can't do it. It's just making that recognition that, hey, if you have the resources where they're at, what their need, just making sure that everybody's on the same page. And then some of the avenues were, when that had first started out, was trying to pair up with looking at budgets to see that if you had two neighboring departments that were putting in for the same equipment, that maybe it was, hey, mutual aid agreements on these type things, because we're all striving to get more manpower, that, hey, maybe on these type incidences, instead of budget monies going to two different departments, the same equipment, put each other on that specialty type incident call. So the manpower and the equipment is coming from resources, and you're getting more on the scene. Eric did mention that kind of where things stood now, the direction of the county of trying to get more focus on some other things. He personally felt that we should kind of hold tight on moving forward anything further with the rescue commission, just because there were no big issues found in that information that they gathered. There was not like one department or a large area that didn't have equipment or the manpower, things that were needed to be done. So that way that committee personnel could be dispersed out into another committee that is maybe more beneficial to get progress going within the county as a whole, with the fire commission and the association.
okay. Currently on that committee is Eric, yourself, and I believe Rob is on that. Rob Smith is on that committee. With the resignation of Zander, I'm going to put Justin Westbrook on that committee as well. Mr. Westbrook, are you with us? Yeah. Justin, you're with us? I guess you can hear me. Congratulations, Justin. I'm making you chairman of that task force. Well, anyway, he'll get the memo. So Justin Westbrook will be the incoming chairman for the rescue task force. 9E, closest department. Any information that we can share with the commissioner?
So we were looking at some different areas of hopefully bringing some stuff closer together to make departments where things are not overlapping. So it's still in the works. There ain't a lot you can say about it because it's really just started. So
Okay. And refresh my memory as to who is on 9E.
me, Rich Allball, Austin, Justin was,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have
David Toomey.
the two fire chiefs
Okay.
Mrs. Shane.
and Shane.
Yeah, Shane. Okay. All right. Capital.
That me now?
Right now it's you and Rich and me, but I'll let you guys.
Got a couple conversations. Will and I have. And in light of what's, come up here the last couple of days of, communication, short communication. We need to have a further conversation. We need to update the website where you go to, emergency management's website and go to the, fire commission, pull up a certificate of need. There needs to be better explanation of what the requirements are. Right now, if you go to the certificate of need, it'll explain. It doesn't really explain the 2-week notification that you have to have. You get down here, Will, you could, if you want to touch on, what's our other conversations,
Well, we've had so many, but,
yeah,
along with Rich is saying, I think we're gonna sit down and define a few things for the capital committee. We're gonna work on that, certificate of need definition. Get that spelled out a little bit better so everybody understands exactly what that certificate is, how to apply for it, what's required for that certificate of need.
Okay.
The amounts that apply for that, just an overhaul kind of, just to make sure everything's cleared up on that end of it. Maybe discuss what's actually that capital, committee will be responsible for moving forward. What else?
Any discussion on the capital fund itself, the fund balance?
We did, we have discussed that. We did get an amount, what, 2 meetings ago? I think we finally got that. Now that we're in a new year, I think our last discussion from Mr. Wong was,
the numbers you gave us the numbers.
that was for last January. There should be an audit coming up soon.
Yes. Did we finalize? Did we get the audit numbers finalized?
We do not have it finalized yet. We're in process, but we can get an updated number for you.
That's what we were gonna
Yeah.
wait for them to
Yeah.
bring us.
So we're waiting on the new updated number. Hopefully we'll be able to put that out to everybody next meeting.
Mr. Chair, I'm
Yes.
probably gonna get in trouble for saying this, but
Go
I think
ahead.
it would be good if Rebecca was on that committee and was informed to help with some of that conversation.
Okay.
So we would-
Originally, I was on the
Yeah.
committee.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Maybe I'm not existing.
And you still are, Bob. Thank you. Thank you for speaking up. Rebecca, would you mind serving on that capital
No,
task force?
I'm good with that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Bob, we didn't know that. You know that?
If I did, I forgot it.
All right. Any more from
I put a
capital?
question mark beside my name.
Any more from capital? All right. As far as health and wellness, it was Will and myself. And I was trying to afford myself of every opportunity to get to Charlotte and visit with Will while he was safety officer at Charlotte Fire. Will retired, what day? Friday. Congratulations. And as a result of his retirement, I no longer have that opportunity to hang out with somebody I know in safety. But we are working toward a partnership with Caramount Health to come up with some modified physical that the hospital system may be able to work out with the county fire departments to be able to provide physicals to our firefighters who are not covered under physicals with the municipality or other part-time positions that they may have in other counties where physicals are provided to them. Hope to have more on that at our next meeting in February. Moving on to old business. First item is apparatus discussion. Who's leading that?
I don't know that you really,
Oh, yes, but are you talking, what are you talking about?
Well, it's on as old business as an apparatus discussion, but
That was when they did the description
That's
of
right.
apparatus and stuff,
that's right. That's right.
but it's
Okay.
all been approved, all been put in the CAD and all that. So
Okay, all right.
We could probably mark that off.
Yeah,
now.
we can strike apparatus discussion in old business. All right, let's move on to item B, our Starlink discussion. Vincent, do you want to lead
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, so, we had, previously, I think it's 7 or 8 Starlinks that that EM purchased, and there's discussion on how to distribute those to the fire departments and take a list of, who wants them and who doesn't want them. And then I think there's a certificate of need outstanding on the cost of, installation of a Starlink, and stuff like that. So, happy to answer any questions. Right now, I'll just be honest, and from a staff perspective, the importance of a Starlink is it's mobile, and that it can be used at different areas and, like I said, in different locations. Some departments, it looks like, are requesting to have it mounted on their fire station and then use it as a replacement for internet. I'm okay with that as an operation for them, but I think that should be gone through the budget process, because that's an operation expense for them that they're taking out. I don't think that right now staff is comfortable with allocating or having the fire commission allocate money for the installation and the wiring and stuff of the Starlinks, if it's an internet replacement. So we're happy to, continue with the Starlink minis and give those to departments and have them use that and purchase the cases that were approved and everything for them to have so they're mobile. But we strongly feel that if it's an operational expense, it should go through the budget process to buy maybe a larger Starlink and then use that. I know, meeting with other departments, some departments have already done that themselves and use their operation money to use internet, and have that as a function. And so I don't want to take away from departments that have already done that and done it through the budget process.
Yeah, what do we have stored here? Is it the minis that we have here now?
We have 6 full size and 2 minis.
Minis.
Did we get the numbers back on what departments are requesting the
Yeah, I think
park mounts versus portable ones?
it should be in the certificate of need. Total units needed 12 building mounted, 3 mobiles. Total installation cost is 11,400. Estimates are between 1,150 and 1,800 per department. And then it says this would range from $13,680 to $22,000 annually expense going forward. So that should be in your paperwork under certificate of need.
Yeah, that's okay. You said we have.
We have
Give me that again.
six full-size, 2 minis.
And like I said, we're fine with distributing and giving them but I really think the benefit of the Starlink is for it to be mobile and not a fixed asset. So even if a department wants to use it as a fixed asset on their building, they should have another one for mobile, because incident command in a different area might have to go somewhere. If there's a tragic event in one area of the county, then we can have that department or EM office can go pick that up and move it to that area. The benefit for us and the initial purchase of them was for mobility.
There's multiple areas within the county, total dead zones for the internet and cell phone reception. Your Black Snake Road is one of them. Just to pick one, Vesper City Trail Highway, there are several. I can name 6 right off the top of my head. So I know there's more because I don't travel the entire county. But that's when we talked about it, it came through the discussion with Helene, what we were doing there and sending people out in the field and doing the assessment. We definitely need to understand the mobility faction is what created the Starlink discussion originally, not to replace the other, not to say it can't.
Yeah, I know one of the big backups wasn't for it being at the station was the primary, is because during storm protocol, it's set up that we go to each station and we run the incidents. and nobody had internet at the incident. And the thought process and discussion was, is if we put it on the truck, I'm out in the truck, now I'm cutting trees out of the road and doing things. I'm not dedicated at the station, being able to say, hey, station 30 to brush 30, I need you to respond to this location because kind of saturated out in the fields. That was the initial point for the Starlink at the stations. Then some others have brought it up as far as, hey, if there was a big situation going on somewhere, that kind of thought process then was EM's probably going to be coming to support us. They have the mobiles, they're on scene. We meet in the middle with still managing calls from the station and then EM supporting us on the scene to function there.
If I understand right, we got 13 departments wanting these. 2 departments wanting 2 units. Same.
I'm mounted at a mobile.
Correct. So we held off. The initial action was to purchase the 8 1 year and then purchase the rest the remaining year. We held off to get that guidance, but now that we're going through, like I said, the budget process, we're fine with purchasing the remaining Starlinks, but there's definitely cost savings and associated if they're using it as an internet replacement and stuff like that. So my recommendation from a staff perspective would be to handle that through the budget process, and we buy the remaining Starlinks and the departments have those for that remain mobile and not fixed to the building.
Yeah, I'm sure an expert on this.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
If we're talking, there's 2 discussions going on here. One's for mobile, one's for permanent. Is the discussion that we're using both of them for emergency use, or we're not using them for emergency use?
So my understanding is some departments are using it and getting rid of their current internet and
Yeah.
mounting it and using it for their internet as a replacement.
But that will also allow them to use it during emergencies that we're talking about here with Josh.
Correct.
Well, so that I have some questions about that because if it's fixed mounted and wired with the firewall and everything else they're requesting, you lose some of the mobility of that. So I don't know where they're fixing it to the build. I think there's a lot of questions on how mobile it can be once it's fixed.
I'm not worried about the mobile discussion right now.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the permanent mounting ones.
Yeah.
We could still use that for emergencies.
That's
Going
correct.
for-
And
Serious
that-
jurisdiction,
that-
Yeah.
That doesn't impede it. It's.
Grant. Guffey probably knows more about
Well,
Starlink than most of that.
Grasp on what's going on with it there, but I just want to make it clear, like, just because they put this on their building permanent, doesn't mean it's not going to be used for emergency
Exactly.
situations.
That's exactly right.
So,
Yeah.
from my perspective, it's an emergency management both ways, whether it's permanent mounted or if it's mobile. And if you're gonna regulate, or have an opinion on how that's gonna be distributed out, are you gonna put the bill for when they're activated? At emergency management.
So the discussion has been that the first discussion was that emergency management would basically own them and distribute them out. Then we scrapped that and said, because the recommendation came from a fire commission member that, or I won't say it, the recommendation came that they're out in the field at the department, which we agreed to. For legality reasons, we don't want to we can't use a P card to activate people's Starlinks in emergency. I'm fine with that usage, but I think when you're using it for internet replacement for your building, it's a different discussion.
I'm talking about an emergency use. So on the back end, if we have a storm comes through, knocks out half the county for 3 days and we activate these things, I'm worried about the bill right then, we'll get it on. Like the department can go ahead and get it activated.
Yeah.
But on the back end, the county can reimburse that department for that emergency use.
Yeah, it would come to the fire committee. I mean, it's
Yeah.
$5 a month and then
Exactly.
$60 or 160.
So I'm just trying to define when you say that you're good with these units being used in emergency and these aren't, how does that fit into who's footing the bill? Because if the fire commission's gonna put the bill for the units and we're gonna have to pay for the service, then we're gonna dictate how they're used.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't, the use, it's paying for the installation and all the other stuff that's been requested.
Yeah, but that's still on our side, correct?
Correct. And that's why I recommend it goes through my recommendation of staff is to go through the budget process for that though,
Versus what?
versus approving a certificate of need, because and this is just a recommendation. There's other departments that have already used Starlinks and have replaced them, and it was an operational cost for them. So I'm just trying to level the playing field and be fair. I don't know. I don't want to put Commissioner Austin on the thing, but you're shaking your head.
No, and in my viewpoint is that we're trying, you've got departments that are replacing a service they already use, a utility, if you will. Their AT&T or Spectrum or whoever they use for the internet, all they're doing is switching from one to the other. That's all they're doing.
Mhm.
And does it work in an emergency? Yes, because it doesn't work off of a dedicated hard line or a satellite, right? And to say that if it's used in an emergency, then, you know, who XYZ is gonna pay for it, I don't think that point is relevant because you're already using the service all the time. I think what has happened is when we started this conversation, it was, all right, we have a deployable asset, let's put it out in the county and let it be utilized for extended searches, extended operations in any type of field, and let it be used as a command post. And that was the original intent. And now it's evolved into this, the county's paying to replace your internet. I'm struggling to get on board with that.
Yep, so that's why I said there's two different conversations, the emergency use and then the non-emergency use. I agree with what you're saying. If the departments want to replace their whole system with the base unit, then that just rolls into what they're already paying for their internet. There may be a little bit of a difference that we need to make up. Let's move on with it.
Yeah.
The emergency side of it is where I'm getting hung up here.
So I
Are
think,
we gonna are we gonna get a request from every department for one that's mobile? Or are we gonna keep the 7 that we got and just deploy the 7 units for when we need them?
So
yeah, they should be on standby
So-
deployed throughout the county for
we,
the tornado and
yeah.
terrible, whatever.
we've been authorized enough to buy one for each department. And then the question became, some people didn't want to be charged, have the $5 to have that standby and stuff like that. And so that evolved into more conversation. As a best practice, you shouldn't use fund balance for ongoing operational expense. So, and that's why I'm getting hung up on that part of if it's a fixed amount and we're doing that, it should go through the budget process. The allocation that was authorized by the fire commission was just to purchase the actual Starlinks. And so that's a one-time purchase for us and we're okay with that. Now, you know, you're in a already halfway through a fiscal year where you're looking at $5 a month for 6 months, which is $30. And if there's an incident that's $160 for that 30 days once it's activated, I might sound tough, but I think I know departments are pitching pennies, but we're talking if it gets activated once in 30 days, $200 for the rest of the fiscal year. So I don't know if that climbs to the level of certificate of need. I'm just looking at best financial practices from a staff perspective, but you know, you guys are the fire commission and have more discussion on what you guys think is appropriate.
I support whatever we need to do to support the emergency side of it. And then if they're gonna change over their systems to a static one, strictly for their service, then that needs to run through the budget. I agree with that.
Justin, have you got any thoughts on this?
Hold on one second. There we go. No, I'm kind of, I think it's evolved so much. So it was originally for emergency use to remain mobile, but I understand the side that we depend on crew force, which is internet based. If you go into storm protocol to where if you're one of those stations that are designated to kind of be the, I guess, satellite EOC in that case, to where that would be a needed thing to be fixed and not mobile. So it's really hard to, I see both sides of it, and I think that maybe if you buy them and start as a mobile thing and people that want to transition them into a fix, they can pay to get them fixed. But if you turn them on, you set some sort of policy and you come back for reimbursement if they're used during an emergency, if the need arises. But I think you could also put $500 in your upcoming budget, and I guarantee that's probably going to cover it for an emergency use for a fiscal year. In your utilities, right? Because it's all a guess anyway. So you're just guessing on your operational budget. So if you put $450 into your utilities for that, you're going to cover it. If you need more, then you come back and you explain why it went over, and that's just kind of my thoughts to maintain the emergency aspect. But I think it's smart to also use it as a main piece and understand that need as well.
See, I'm with Justin. I think if we need to find out what departments are gonna use it for all of their internet. So I know if you look matched up to what Starlink charges compared to a full spectrum outfit, you're actually gonna save $148. Cause I've already looked at it. So if they're gonna, that's what needs to be found out, is if they're gonna use it all the time or not. Because if they're using it all the time as a permanent mount,
It's a utility.
then it's a utility or it's a data plan
Mhm.
that they already have in their budget.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Cause you're just replacing one with the other.
Right.
So I don't know what.
So, I mean, my recommendation is we go forward and purchase the remaining Starlinks that we're authorized to do. During the budget process, and we bring in the departments, we can ask them about their questions and build it into their budget.
I mean, I said we move forward with the emergency side of it. I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
That was the initial intent. On this.
So there's a caveat to that. So there's not to throw something in the mix, but the mini size does not carry the amount of bandwidth that the larger size does. So keep that in mind. If you're gonna put the mini in a case, take it on a disaster emergency situation, you're good. But if you're gonna try to run the whole department on it with phone capability, it's gotta be the big.
They need the larger ones for the perfect amount.
Doesn't have to be permanent mounted. It's just, it takes a larger one to have the increased bandwidth.
Correct. Right. Bob, you got any thoughts on any of this?
I agree with Will in terms of the emergency conversation, because that's where it came up, and that's where it originated, and I think that's where it stayed. And I just shared with our financial secretary that currently we have one line item 210, says utilities, that lumps everything. You've got an current ISP through Charter, Spectrum, Bob's Internet Service, whatever, that's a utility.
Mhm.
We need to add a different category for Starlink under EM. And that goes back to the conversation that Will was just talking about. That comes into their budget, but that's a reimbursable expense that follows under the EM conversation, because that's over and above what normally is used for their internet service provider. And then we handle it accordingly.
So since we've already voted on this once to buy those other units,
Correct.
we don't have to have a motion toward that, but I think we need some directive that says we're gonna concentrate on emergency.
Let me just ask one question, and I think your gentleman seated to your left can answer this. If we bought all large units, how much more of an encumbrance are the large units in the field?
It's just buying a different case. I mean,
So it's a different
they both
case,
function the same.
but it's a case that'll protect the unit
Correct.
and allow it to be deployed in the field.
It's about $100 difference in the case price.
Okay. So, but that's a one-time cost that is over. So they're all the same. So nobody said, oh God, I wish I had a full size instead of a mini. I'm just throwing that out there because I know when I go RVing with my son, he has a full size. And we use it for everything. And all of our phones connect to it. And we can all talk, and I've had as many as 12 phones operating on his full size. And you never saw any drop or any response time or whatever difference. That is a huge advantage, especially if if you're in a mobile situation, you've got people that are half a mile. What's the range, Brett, from the base station on that?
It's hard to say, just depends on where you're at.
Topology.
Normal
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
I would go to more than 200 feet.
200 feet.
I'll make a motion,
Sir,
to move forward with purchasing, which the motion's already been made there. And then to place them all in the standby mode. That would get us through the remaining 6 months, and then the emergency use would just be handled like, and then just distribute them at that. So we put them in standby, we buy them by case, put them in standby and distribute, and then through the budget process, cover the emergency use. That gives us time to think on it.
okay, would that be for the full-size units or the minis or what?
I would do the minis. The minis are going to be mobile. And if you're going to replace your whole internet service, you're going to be cheaper just to do that whole thing separate from this mobile unit that the county's buying, would be my thought process on remaining mobile and for emergency use.
I have a question.
Okay, so,
For some departments don't want to use it. And if they gotta be a waste, that's real.
right, hold on, Rich, before we get to that discussion. So I got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I got a question before we do that.
Okay, I need a second before we do
Second
anything.
discussion.
Okay, I got a second from Commissioner Hovis. All those in favor, I'm sorry, yeah, sorry, yeah, let's go ahead and have our discussion. Will, you had
I
a
just
question.
want to be clear because this is what hung us up in the first discussion of who's going to maintain them, where are they going, who's deploying them. So if we do this, every department gets a mini or whatever we decide to get. Every department will have one for their own deployment mode.
And it would be the motion was to put them all in standby mode. So that should cover the remaining fiscal year to have them ready. Then anytime they were activated would be on the department until the new budget process is done.
But every department will have one for their use. They're not.
Yes, there should be 15, right? After the next 7 or whatever about, there should be 15 that we've already approved.
Sure.
Okay, so Rich, you had a question?
Do all 15 want a mini? Cause I don't believe all 15 departments want a mini.
So we have 6 of the large ones right now, 2 of the mini. So the department should be able to choose if they want the large and mini, and we have the money.
We have a record now, what you're saying, don't you already have a record if he wanted a mini or a large?
I believe that documentation is with Chief Presswood.
I think there's only 2 minis.
Was it?
Yeah.
Right, there's only 2 minis.
Currently, there's 6 large and 2 minis. And then we waited to purchase anything else until we found out what departments want. So, and we have the money that's been obligated to buy those, so we can go ahead and do that.
And that's how we ended up with this. One from the emergency standby where somebody, I think I was whichever from section 2 full time is how we ended up to where we are today. If I can't have a full time, I don't want one at all, is what someone saying.
Bob, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No.
Okay.
And I hate to buy them if they don't want them.
Is there any more discussion?
So I think about this a second. I think I'm with what Will and Justin both are saying.
We would just amend his motion to not specify many.
Until we get.
Yeah. It's just go ahead and buy the Starlinks and give it to the departments that want them and have them activate us in standby mode.
Can change the motion, then just for once.
So,
If the department doesn't want it, we don't have to buy it.
Correct.
If moving forward though, if they want it to replace their internet service, that should be coming through as a budget request, just so everybody's.
Yeah, it's outside this conversation. That's correct. That's standard. That's to replace their internet service provider. That's correct.
This is just emergency, one.
Does that sound all right, Justin?
Yeah, I would amend it to that. Just buy the Starlinks, put them in standby and distribute to where they're wanted. I would buy all 15, even if 13 departments only want them, and leave 2 at emergency management for when they do decide they want them, now you have something in backup, or if you need to deploy 3 into an area that was hit very hard, but that area is already being used for, station internet, that would give you 2 extra if only 13 are wanted, and it was budgeted for 15. But I would just, leave it very broad of purchase what's needed, put them in standby mode, and distribute.
Okay, so your amended motion, Bob, you're seconded.
Correct.
Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion as amended, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. All right, got open discussion on here in old business. Is there any other old business we need to talk about before we move to some new business? All right, seeing none. You've got your certificates of need in front of you. Everybody should. If you don't have it, please let the secretary know.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
did you ask for new business, or we're moving to certificate of needs and then any new business?
I asked if there was any more, in any other old business that needs to be discussed before we move to certificates of need. Well, this one?
Just a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
At one time, we talked about certificates of need having a unique numbering system on them, so we would know exactly which one was which. Did we ever approve that?
I'm not sure.
Once it comes in, assigning it like, 2025, 2026, and day -1 or -8 or whatever, so you've got some kind of a methodology to follow these.
So they are
Okay, where am I missing the number on this form?
the very back page,
Oh, of course, it's on the back page.
certificate of
Okay,
number
Thank you, sir.
2026.
I knew we talked about it. I would think it would show on page 1. So I know which one I was talking about. Obviously, I'm confused. Thank you. I knew we talked about it. I just couldn't find it.
All right, so the first certificate showing up, I've got is, from Alexis Volunteer Fire Department. Y'all got that? This would be the, water damage and mold discovery. And that should be a, 3-packet.
Yeah.
3-packet and then some extra pages at the back. So just go through this real quick. The general description: water damage and mold discovery in 5 bunk rooms on their main station. Water intrusion determined to be from wind-driven rain, possibly back from Helene. Future prevention plan is to lower the exterior grade and add additional drainage catch basins to the current gutter downspouts. The cost of this specific item will be covered under a state grant, which we receive for renovations to the building. When presented with unforeseen expenses, we typically redirect funding from capital to cover the cost. With our fiscal year 26 capital adjusted to $0 for this budget year, there are no fund revenues to pull from for this expense. We're requesting the portion not covered by VFIS in the amount of $5,629 for this certificate of need. The remediation and replacement of building materials have already been completed. VFIS did partially cover this expense. However, they do not cover the mold remediation aspect. The testing, pre and post remediation was $2,675. Remediation itself, $5,495. Building material removal and replacement, $6,950. Total cost, $15,120. The estimated cost for the on the certificate of need is $5,629. There's no financing. They currently have their debt ratio current and post purchase is 0. They have submitted their 5-year plan. They have submitted information on their checking account and their relief fund. And they have uploaded files from Carolina Mold Testing. 2 of those in insurance coverage for the mold water damage. Envirotech remediation has been uploaded. SDL and C has been uploaded, and their fire inspection report has been uploaded. If the commission will take a look at the information provided. And the chair will entertain, a motion from the commission.
Motion to approve the certificate of need.
I second.
I have a motion to approve the certificate of need. I have a second from Mr. Smith. Is there any more discussion?
For the record, Mr. Chair, a certificate of need 2025-12272-41.
Thank you, Mr. Hovis.
I wanted it on you.
Absolutely. Is there any more discussion?
Legally, they can't get confused.
Seeing none, all those,
numbers.
seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to approve certificate of need for Alexis Volunteer Fire Department, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign.
I have to recuse.
You're recusing yourself, all right. Motion passes. Mr. Keller has recused himself.
Can I make a quick comment?
Yes, sir.
So just for future knowledge, this is something that if there's a declared disaster and we're receiving FEMA's public assistance program, they'll cover damage caused by the natural disaster that isn't covered by insurance. The deadline for Helene, for instance, expired in April last year. So it's really important that, if you do think that it is a declared disaster and you think it's really, even if you don't know, you just think it's possible, get it in. In this kind of case, you also would, they'd ask for things like building maintenance records and kind of pre-existing conditions and things. So now is a really good time to go get a good inventory of your building, take some pictures, get your maintenance procedures straight, because FEMA would pay for this and they would pay to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
And so where insurance doesn't just fixes what was lost, FEMA will make it better.
And see, Mr. Goldberg, I think that has been the biggest problem is the communications about this stuff.
Mhm.
There's a lot of chiefs and fire departments don't know that.
Yeah.
And that's part of our challenge is to improve the educational component and knowledge, and that's one of the reasons that he's here. And also, from a refusal standpoint, finally, Mr. Attorney, because I'm not an expert, in all reality, even the county commissioners are to recuse yourself from an issue, you have to have personal gain of whatever the action is that's taking place. Our situation will be the same situation. And even though you may be associated with this particular fire department, it's not necessary to recuse yourself for that action. You're working on behalf of the association as a whole. So your seat and your voice is still prevalent. Just the FYI, so everybody knows going forward, not get back to it. Okay. But I'm just saying, that's another thing, it's part of the educational thing that we haven't done, I thought.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks for bringing that out.
Moving on to the second certificate of need application. It's from Hughes Pond Volunteer Fire Department. Chief Rayfield is here tonight. I don't see your board chairman, Mr. Mabry, but okay. Would you like to speak to this while you're here?
Okay.
And before I go any further, I want to mention the certificate number is 2025-12242-40. If you'd like to get up and good to see you, Trent.
Good to see you. Good evening, everyone. I'm here requesting money from the overage fund to fund a replacement of our tarmac that leads from our Bay Area to the roadway. It's deteriorated, caving in, and the damage has extended from the parking lot into the Bay Area roughly 5 feet. I have a quote here. It's $46,250 to go from asphalt to concrete from the Bay Area to the roadway. Right now we have asphalt. Long before my time there, it was asphalted and it was only done 4 inches. So we all know that's no good with the heavy equipment that's going across it. But I mean, it's just a trip hazard, safety hazard. It's going to end up causing building damage. So we really appreciate the approval of this. Initially, I wanted to put it in the budget for fiscal year 25-26, and then that's when Rob suggested that I just come and try to do the certificate of need. We reached out to the North Carolina DOT to try to get them to pave the parking lot, and we ran around and around and around and played phone tag for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. And then we're finally told, no, we don't do that anymore. So that's why we're here to request it.
Okay. All right, they have submitted their 5-year plan. They have their checking CD balances included with their certificate of need. They've also noted within their plan is to purchase a new engine and a new tanker. The members would take a minute to look over the information provided, the bid. I've got a question for you, Chief. How soon upon passage of the certificate of need, how soon can the contractor get to this?
So didn't mean to touch on that. I tried to get them, so I know things could be delayed as far as their approval when the work will start. So I told them if we were approved, it could be March or April, probably before we could even begin work, and tried my best to get them to lock in that price for March or April, but they said just due to, inflation costs and whatever, they could not lock that cost in, but they said they would do their best to do it. But so as soon as we were approved for funding, we would begin work immediately.
Okay, thank you.
And the specifications for this fix are gonna make this heavy duty, so it won't repeat again, correct?
Yeah, so right now it's 4-inch asphalt and we're going to, I believe, 8-inch concrete.
Okay.
Sorry, 6-inch concrete.
Okay. And subsoil's been tested, underneath this to know that you don't need geogrid, it's not pumping.
So they
Even concrete will crack if there's subsoil issues.
yeah, so they're gonna fix that. I believe it's.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Make sure. And they're also gonna fix that section that's 5 feet inside of the bay area. They're gonna cut that out and correct that.
Oh,
as well.
okay, good.
So yeah, they're gonna fix everything underneath and
You
then,
did it, the CDA, they poured concrete, you see what happened there.
yeah.
But they didn't do any proper, it needed geogrid. It was very poor subsoil underneath it. Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Any questions?
I will say as one of the commission, I have seen it and it's pretty bad. I know his discussed with DOT because Action has been trying for the last 4 years to get our parking lot done, and it's just round and round and you never hear nothing. So I get it. I'd like to make a motion to move forward with this.
They have a motion and a second. A motion from Mr. Smith, a second from Mr. Albaugh. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to approve the certificate of need for Hughes Pond Volunteer Fire Department, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Certificate of need is passed. All right. I got a email from via Mr. Goldberg from Brent for the drafting of an agreement that we had previously approved to grant funds to the Gaston County Firefighters Association for the fit test equipment. And the amount of that grant was for $13,000 for the purchase of one respirator fit tester to be used by fire departments in Gaston County. In order to make this legal, and I'm only going to speak to the legality that in order to be legal, we needed to have an agreement for the grant. Mr. Goldberg, would you like to add anything to this?
No, this is a very standard grant agreement. We use this kind of template with pretty much all nonprofits when the county provides money. And so it just makes clear, we're going to give you $13,000 for this purpose. If you don't do that, if you don't do that, or you use it for something else, or you try to sell it, we're gonna have to sort that out. But otherwise, it's pretty straight. We try to keep it pretty straightforward.
Okay, Mr. Brown, since you're here representing the Gaston County Firefighters Association, do you have anything you want to add to this?
No, sir.
Okay. I appreciate your work on helping to get this thing across the finish line. So members, if you'll just take a look at it, if you have any questions, the guy to ask is seated in front of me. Please feel free. The chair will entertain a motion.
Motion to apply for the grant formally.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second for the agreement for the grant between Gaston County and the Gaston County Firefighters Association. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the agreement for the grant, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. All right. Now, I want to, if you'll take a look at the budget paperwork that was handed out to you, this big budget worksheet. On that budget worksheet, there is there was a tab, I guess it's not really showing up here, but there was a tab on the Excel spreadsheet that showed the apparatus that is in each of the stations. Or I'm sorry, it shows that it's a line item showing the asking for a description of the apparatus that is in each station.
Not on the back side.
Mike?
I only printed the budget summary.
Yeah, she only printed the budget side. I don't know, we really don't have a way to pull up the,
No, I mean,
There's,
yeah, I'm sorry, yes, it is. It's at the bottom left. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6 columns, description, payments, year, loan balance, loan start date, loan term. There's some other line items in there. What I'd like to ask the commission for us to do to supplement this information, and I'd like to assign Commissioner Albaugh to the task, if the commission agrees to it, is this information is important, but it's limited just in the line items that we have. What I'd like to suggest is that we put a fire commissioner with eyes on this apparatus in every station, and we take a picture of it. We take a picture of it from the head on, left side, right side, and the rear. If it's a driving apparatus, we get a picture inside the cab. If it's got a hose bed, we get a picture of the hose bed. If it's an apparatus, or if it's a piece of equipment like an air trailer that doesn't have seating, we just take the pictures that we need. And then we supplement the information that's provided in the budget by the department, and allow Rich, with his experience and knowledge of trucks and apparatus, to go out and kind of verify what we have.
An asset inventory.
And then take the photographs that we have, and I'm going to ask our secretary if he can get in touch with IT to see if this is even possible. Take the photographs that we have and attach the photographs to the data file and put it on a shared drive, so that if a department decides that they want a surplus in some inventory, or they want to offer it out to another department per the contract, that a department can simply go to this data drive and pull up multiple pictures of the apparatus or the equipment, and pull up pertinent up to date information on recent maintenance costs, mileage, how it's equipped, engine hours, things like that. Much like you would find if you were shopping for a truck at Brindley Mountain or something like that. If you were out looking for information, and we can use that as an ongoing database, and we can update it every 6 months, or we can update it every year. We'll already have the information flowing in from budget on maintenance that's coming into it, maintenance expenses, other things that are going on with apparatus, when it's paid off, what the outstanding debt is. I think it's just a way that we can help the fire departments with inventory, and also help us to determine what exactly is out there in the county. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think back our last meeting in November, remember it was brought up to a bunch of the fire chiefs that were here. And the ones that were here liked the idea because then they're able to look at that database.
Right.
And it can not only help them as far as if they want to sell a truck, but it helps them actually use it. Because right now, if say Union Road wanted to know what all was on one of Ag Center's truck,
Mhm.
he ain't gonna know.
Right.
But if he sees pictures, hey, they carry this much hose, they do this. And back in the nineties, we used to have a book like that.
Right.
It was a red notebook that was distributed out to every fire department that had every fire truck. It even had the fire marshal's vehicles in it, of
Mhm.
what equipment they carried,
All rolling asset.
everything.
Yep.
And it actually worked really well in making call cards and things like that.
So we've moved from the red notebook to electronic version.
Digital.
And I think it would be a good use of this commission's time, and it'd be an excellent communication tool, and it would add the transparency between the fire commission, the fire departments within fire departments. And I'd like to recommend that Rich be tasked with that job.
Motion to do so.
I have a motion from Mr. Hovis. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Keller. Is there any more discussion?
How's his photo skills?
How are your photo skills, Rich?
It's better than his texting skills.
Yeah.
They're as good as his people skills.
Quick question. You're working on an inventory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there might be a duplication there, so.
Well, there could be, but
Not with the list that we've made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna
But
use
they
her
can
information.
together.
right.
Yeah, I think if you work with what Rebecca's getting and stuff like that,
I'm gonna use Rebecca's, a lot of, but Rebecca's information.
So you're good with that, and
Well,
you
I'm
keep,
not sure.
Yeah, I have some ideas.
so Rich, you're good with that, and you've got a phone outside of a jitterbug to take pictures.
You don't have the fire chief send me pictures. Chief.
Nope.
All right, so, any more discussion?
Can I just add something on that?
Yes.
It's kind of relevant, kind of not. I think there's several departments that will be getting new apparatuses this year, and there's also several departments that are gonna be celebrating anniversaries this year. I just want to make sure that we recognize that and that we do some kind of celebration and public outreach on that, letting the people know the new apparatuses that are coming into Gaston County, but also the years of dedicated service that these departments have put into their community.
We need to do a formal dedication ceremony with those fixed assets, and the fire commission needs to try to clear their schedule to be in attendance at that, because it's a, you know, I mean, it's not like we're buying a fixed asset at Walmart.
Right.
It's expensive
All right.
stuff.
Any more discussion?
I'd like to start a discussion that's gonna put everybody in a direction.
I was talking about discussion on this motion.
Well, have a different discussion.
Okay, very good. Let me
Wait, though.
let me ask for the vote. All those in favor, all those in favor of this motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Congratulations, Rich. All right, before we move to the next item, Will,
My discussion.
your discussion.
All right. I'd like to start a discussion on the direction of what we're doing as a fire commission and the fire service in this county. We have a 2 or 3 year old survey from consultants that were done. We've not really referenced that too much in the past. There's my understanding in conversations, there's maybe some bias towards that study that was done. But we need to get together and figure out in what direction we're going to move as a commission and a fire service. I'd like to see us either form committees, look about getting a new third-party contractor to maybe do a new study. But before we do that, we need to talk to the fire chiefs. This board needs to decide as a group what direction we're going. Apparatus purchases, consolidations, group purchasing, and some of that discussion's already started, I think, at the fire chief level. But I want us to officially move in that direction. We need to decide how we're going to move in that direction. We need a plan moving forward, how do we get the plan? We can do another study, but if the study doesn't tell us how to move forward in that plan, then it's no good. So we need something to put us in direction and tell us how to get where we're going, set our objectives and move forward toward those objectives.
Okay? I wholeheartedly agree with that.
I agree with Will in terms of that conversation, and my suggestion, it's just a suggestion. In order to how to get there is we, as a fire commission, set up a planning retreat.
Mhm.
So we come in and fire chiefs want to come, they're certainly more than welcome. But we set up some kind of planning retreat and we whiteboard all these ideas, all the things that you know are deficient. Goals and objectives, and we turn around and we do that as a planning retreat. That's not a 2-hour meeting. That's probably at least a half a day, if not an all day
Mhm.
session. And scheduling that would be probably the biggest challenge. But that is that's the way the Board of Commissioners does their planning, and I think this fire commission could operate much the same way. And the challenge there, of course, is the fire chiefs having their schedule meet with that one. Maybe the fire chiefs come in and we share with them in the afternoon session or the early evening sessions the results of what we've done in the earlier 4, 6, 10 hours, whatever it takes. And we share that with them, and then they tear it apart, tell us what we think we know. I think that would be a good approach to do it. That way we all have equal ownership in the outcome.
Okay, and Rob?
I will like to tell you, Will, that great idea. I will tell you, at the last 90 committee meeting we had, no longer not able to come, but that is our goal. Our goal.
Conversation come up.
Great, what I'm saying is let's get together and go forward with it, like.
Moving
We gotta get
forward,
everybody moving together.
what is gonna work best in the future of this unified tax system.
Correct.
So, Rich can tell you, we were in that meeting for what, 3.5 hours? And got a lot accomplished. So,
If you want an example, Wake County just released one this week, 21 objectives. They're moving forward, very similar to what this county is. I'd like to see us do something like that.
That's true. We get a copy of Wake's just to look at.
It's on their,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
each other's fire marshal's office, yeah, it's there.
Grab it and send it.
I actually, just so you know, I was on the phone for about an hour and a half with Jeremy Hunt and Vern.
Yep.
On a lot of things going on with 9E,
So
so.
we gotta
move that way.
Yeah.
do something.
So that leads me to this fire commission questionnaire that was emailed out to all the fire commissioners. It's a 12-month and 36-month objective. And so far, Brent tells me that we've had 4 people return the questionnaires. Now they come in anonymously. So I don't know if you sent one in. If you didn't, that's great. If you did send one in, that's great. If you didn't, if we're going to move forward in some kind of a strategic plan, then this is a start. And please put your thinking cap on and fill out the questionnaire and send it in. You got it in an email. You can fill it out online and submit it straight back. So please do that. And I will look at forming a strategic plan task force, and we will move forward in that direction. And we will move forward with the participation of the fire chiefs, and Josh, I'll be leaning on you for that communication. At this point, I've changed up the agenda as you've seen, and I put public comments at the back end of the agenda. I've got Chief Cash from North Gaston, who has signed up to speak. I'm also extending comments. We originally were at 3 minutes. We're now at 5 minutes. The reason I put public comments at the end of the meeting, that gives anybody who's here who wants to speak a chance to hear everything that we talk about. And if it strikes a chord and they want to speak publicly to that, then they can. So Chief Cash, you've signed up to speak. Is he here?
Appreciate you giving us time to speak. What I want to speak about is there's several rumors going around. Several of this committee that have met in restaurants and stuff and discussed with other chiefs that we have of another department that we violated a contract. Well, first of all, we've never violated your contract because the grant was applied for the truck in March before we even signed the contract. The truck that come in that's in question, if any of the chiefs would really pick up a telephone and give a call, they would have found out what it's about. If y'all remember, which I don't know how many of you do, we had a landfill fire 4 months ago. We used over 60,000 gallons of water. This program's been in works because let them finish. Because Brent actually got me some phone numbers to Duke Power to call over a year ago to make sure that we could go into the river without violating it, whose property crossed them. The truck that come in is a given truck. It's free. It's no commission money, no nothing. Only thing that we're going to use it for is to pump on. It's going to set at the river to draft water from the river to offset the town. Those of you that don't know, the town has to pay for every gallon of water that's through there because we still purchase in Lincoln County. I know you're familiar with it all. But to offset the money, which the finances come in, that they were very expensive for 60,000 gallons of water that's coming in and getting thrown over here at the landfill, basically something that we can't do. We've come up with an idea. I did. I even presented it to the city council over a year ago. Have a letter stating that it was presented to them, what we were going to do with it. All we got the truck for is equipment. It's not to be used on the road. It's not titled. There's not a thing there. So all the rumors that keep going around, all you got to do is pick the phone up and give me a call. Everybody in here has my number. It's not hard. But that didn't happen. And then you got, as the rumor mill, I'm going to go back to it, of another department that we violated the contract, so we're going to take over their district. All right? If you can show me or the city's attorney where somebody violated that contract, you're more than welcome to do it. But I don't think that you can because they read the contract, plus they read the old contract. The truck is in good shape. The truck, if we wanted to, but we have problems with the title, can't put it on the road. But the truck, it's a 95, it's newer than my ladder. You look inside it, every single seat in it doesn't look like it's ever been sitting. So it's sitting there. It has lights and all on it for the tower. We're looking at 2 different spots, which I'll leave this with the chairman. You can look at it. That's from the town where they put it up. But it has lights to work on there. We're down at the river at night. Need it. We set them up. We have it. It gives me on my ISO 1,250 gallons per minute, the same as us setting up pump trailers. And we don't have to worry about where we're going, what we're doing. But still, once again, you get all these chiefs that they just don't want to communicate with nobody.
So this pump is sitting as a water point already for you.
No, it's sitting in my station right now.
Okay, I got confused, but you said it's now, we're gonna put it down by the river.
Yeah, we're gonna put it at the river.
When you need it. That's
Yeah, we're gonna put it at the river. We just pull it out, drop right in, lay hose off up to the.
I don't know anything about this. The reason I asked.
I know, and it pumps. It pumps 1,250 gallons a minute.
Understand.
We've already tested it ourselves, and it works. But you know, if somebody's got a question about something like that they're doing, pick the phone up. I'm able to answer. I'm not gonna bite your head off. I put my britches on just like the rest of you do. But to hear all the rumors that's coming around and causing commotion in my station, that needs to stop and it needs to completely go away. I know the ones names, but I will not call them right now. But I know one's the names that was in on it. And I'll let you know, I do not appreciate it. And if anybody has any other questions for this, I'll be glad to answer your questions for it. But the truck is not to be titled anything. I have all the paperwork here, have the grant who we got it from. Anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to ask me. But, you know, I don't appreciate just riding by, oh, he's got a new truck. He's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. If you don't know, how about stopping and asking?
Thank you, Chief Cash.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
Shane, did you have,
Yeah, I was questioning the budget amendment I submitted in November that kind of got passed off. I was told it was going to be addressed at the first of the year. Obviously, they didn't make it on the agenda.
the budget amendment? Can you refresh my memory?
It was for the staffer for 2 people at Station 2 in Bessemer City.
Gotcha. Will you be available tomorrow? Give you a call. I'll call you. Has anyone else signed up to speak? That didn't make this. Anybody online? Apparently not. Okay. Is there any other business to come before the fire commission tonight? So I do want to mention one thing. I want to thank Rob for his chairmanship this last year. And stepping into filling this role hasn't been, I haven't done it thinking it's going to be something I can skate into. I know a lot about finance and I can even do the political dance. But because of my short term in the fire service in Gaston County, not including other areas of the country that I've been in the fire service, that I'm looking to learn from you as you learn from me. So don't think that I won't pick up the phone to call you, ask you questions, get your thoughts, get your ideas. This isn't my fire commission, this is your fire commission, and we're working for the citizens of this county. If we keep that in mind, everything that we do is for the citizens of this county. The other thing I wanted to throw out there for any fire commission member, you'll notice that Rob and I are sporting some blue sweatshirts that say Gaston County Fire Commission on them. And these weren't purchased with county funds, these were purchased with my funds. And if any members of the fire commission would like to have them, the reason I'm wearing a shirt, anybody that knows me very well in the last 2 years, I used to weigh 377 pounds. Now I weigh 190 pounds. And I lost all that weight. And because I lost all that weight, I get very cold. And these really nice 5'11" short sleeve shirts are great in the summertime, but I freeze in the wintertime. So I needed to have something that was a little bit warmer. So I went ahead and I had these sweatshirts made up. Doug Horde, a retired Gaston County police officer, who's got a printing and embroidery company, did them for me. And if any members of the fire commission would like one at your expense, and they're pretty cheap, please see me after the meeting and I'll give you Doug's information, and then you can be warm like me. Is there anything else that needs to come before the fire commission?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
We probably need to set a meeting.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, Mr. Wong, what is the budget schedule on meetings with the county commissioners right now? Or do you have one?
We have one. I didn't bring it with me. I think we sent out the budget worksheets to the departments. We gave them a month to fill that out. So we'll get those back February, first week of February. So I would say, and anytime after that we'd probably need a week or two to just analyze them, make sure the data's good. And then so I would say the later part of February.
Okay.
I thought we did send a budget calendar out, but if not, we can resend that out to the fire commission tomorrow.
All right, so let's look at maybe the second, third, or fourth week of February. Does anybody have any thoughts on a day or?
The 29th.
Yeah, Mr. Wong would like the 29th of February. That'd be great. Sure.
About the 19th.
Right. How's that?
Oh, I work the 19th, but all right.
What day don't you work? Cause I like having you here.
I'm on Thursdays that month. So
Oh.
I work the 19th and 26th, 19th, 26th, and then work 5th.
You're retired, what are you looking at the calendar?
Wide open.
17th?
Take you a while to get used to this, eh?
Hey, how's the
17th.
how's the 17th February look?
Looks good to me.
Tuesday. Will, how's your retirement schedule look? Bob, how's that look for you? Rich? Robbie?
Okay,
I'm putting it in right now.
Okay.
Fine.
Yes.
That's the county fire chiefs meeting day.
It's County Fire Chiefs meeting day. Okay. Let's see, Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. How about Tuesday, the 10th or Tuesday, the 24th?
The 10th, I think, might be a little tight for us. to-
24th.
That's the commissioner meeting.
24th would work.
We're indisposed.
24th?
The, let's see, the 24th?
26th.
Not you?
No, it's not bad. 26th is a meeting.
Yeah, I've got that. Austin, 24th work?
I'm good with it.
Will, you're out?
I'm out.
Do we not have a board of commission meeting on 24th?
Oh, yeah, on
This
26th.
be on 24.
I'm seeing, for some reason, it's on my,
I've got it on the 26th.
yeah.
Commissioner meetings on the 26th?
Yeah, that's what's on my calendar right now.
Thursday.
New year, new days.
I get, and I go where Lacey tells me to go. Let me double check.
Twenty-fourth,
Ken probably moved it.
24th of February? Rob?
I'm good.
Okay, Rich?
I will be in DC. That's the reason commissioner meeting is not that night.
Okay.
That's NACO, that's NACO.
NACO.
Legislative.
Call in. All right, so,
I'll get Donald on the side, we'll call him.
all right, so I've got a consensus. I've got a consensus for Tuesday, February the 24th at 6 p.m. Fire Commission. Everybody good with that? Okay,
What day again?
Tuesday,
24th.
24th.
I'm out on that day as well.
Call in. All right. Any other business come for this commission? I've been reminded there's a hot sports game going on, like it started 2 minutes ago. So,
Make a motion we adjourn.
have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. We are adjourned.
I've been in deposition since 8
I was gonna ask you how that went.
That's never.